सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम। Since Krishna introduced 7 new terminologies, Arjuna wanted a clarification. So he asks the same 7 words and requests Krishna to explain it. That's where we are right now. The first 2 verses of chapter 8. Arjuna is asking those same words and asking Krishna to explain. What is that you meant by Brahma? What do you mean by Adhyatma? What is meant by Karma, Adi Bhuta, Adi Deva? What is the meaning of all? Because these words were having multiple meanings. In every context, you have to take a particular meaning for these words. Sometimes the meanings would be, we can directly understand. Say, for example, the word karma, if you take, the word karma in a general terminology, which we are all familiar, using that word is any activity. Any activity will be considered as karma. But that same word karma also has another meaning. In Sanskrit grammar, karma is object. I saw Rama. I, the subject, saw, action, verb. Then you have seeing or Rama. Rama is the object. So karma can even mean that. You see, so that term karma can be referring to, in the context, in another context, we can be referring to a ritual. Vedics subscribed, injunctions of the Vedic rituals. Shrauta karma, they call it as. Then you have smarta karmas, which were all recommended in the Smritis. Smritis say you have to perform certain rituals. Veda says you have to perform certain rituals. So those rituals also will be termed as karma. So what is the meaning of each word? Like that Brahma, what is meant by Brahman? That the term Brahman has many meanings. Now, what is it that you are referring to? Also, Krishna is introducing few new words which he has never used. So far, he has never used those words. Very, very technical terms. Adi Yajna and all, these are all technical words which were not used in the normal course of conversation. So since Krishna had used words which has multiple meanings, also it has a specific meaning, new word, as far as Arjuna is concerned. So Arjuna is asking Krishna to explain. That's all is happening as of now in the starting. So he has asked, since he has used 7, he is asking Krishna to explain that same thing. Yes, please explain. What happens what is this Adi Yajna? How are we to know you at the time of death? How am I to understand? Prayana kale jagatam. Nyeyosi niyadam yabi. Yes. Now, how are we to know you at the time of death? How are we to practice? Because I did mention in this practices or this upasana, this is one of the upasana. There are very many upasanas are there. In that, one of the upasanas recommended is at the time of death, you should be thinking of the deity, Lord. Our fellows will go, that is a time. We go to the fellow and ask, can you recognize me? Yeah, as though you show such a great, pride people take. They go and ask, can you recognize me? They say, see, your, grandchild has come, your neighbor has come. And that fellow, first thought he gets is he owes me, 500 rupees. This is all thinking will come. That's why in our tradition, they say when a person is about to die, we don't, go and disturb him at that time because they are supposed to sit or lie down, whatever condition they are. They are supposed to be, thinking. It's a particular practice. That's one of the spiritual disciplines for a person to be thinking of, the deity, Ishta Devata or Kuladeva, whatever it is. They have to think of the Lord at the time of death. So how that is to be done? So this is the seventh question. And Krishna goes to give answers. And what Krishna is doing in this chapter is, he gives one word answer for the first six. Only 1 mark. Last question is an essay. Essay type. We have two types, no? One word answers and essay type question. So he takes the first six questions to be one word answer. He gives, but for us to understand will take, time. But it's not such a complicated one. He puts it very easy. He says, this means this, this means this, this means this, this means this. That's all it is. So all that you have to know is only that much. The chapter's elaboration is more with reference to the last question. That particular upasana. How are we to think of you? How are we to worship you? How are we to be relating to you at the time of death? Okay. Prayana Kale is really scary, when you read those verses. But he is explaining it beautifully in this, chapter. So he has asked the question. Now Krishna is going to give an answer, right? Now remember, these are paribhasha. Okay, these are all technical words, pertaining to this particular subject. You got to remember the subject we are studying is not Vyakarana, not grammar. Right? We are studying Vedanta, philosophy. Okay. So in this subject, for this word, what is the meaning? Like in this language, what is the meaning? In Tamil language, that sound kal. Right? Means stone. Kal means stone. In Hindi, I think it is yesterday. I don't know. Right? I know there is a word kal. Now, if a Tamil fellow were to hear that word kal, the sound, similar sound will be there. But meanings are very different, remember. Same way, the same word will have a different meaning in different subject. So in this subject, this is the meaning. Or at least Krishna is using in that meaning. If not general, this is the first discipline. It's a fantastic discipline to have. In any discussions, when you are sitting, don't try it inside the house. If you do it inside the house, you will be in trouble. Okay. I'm talking about wherever you wanted to have a productive conversation. Right. inside the house, don't expect a productive conversation. If you are thinking of a productive conversation inside the house, you are finished. You will convert your uh, house into meadows, right? You can't survive. At home, this is not applicable. This I am saying wherever you say yes, let's discuss. When you say that, let us discuss. After that, maintain this discipline. Ask this simple question: the word that I am using with a particular meaning, the same word that you hear, are you hearing that with that same meaning? Suppose if I give one meaning and speak, and you take another meaning and understand for the same word, there will be chaos. Most of the time, the debates and arguments and fights, everything is only in the meaning that I give to that word and the meaning that you give to the word. You see, has a tremendous implication. In corporate seminars we do it. Now we'll take this one idea and spend 45 minutes, and corporate people are very happy. They'll say, "Yeah, correct, sir. There's nothing else." And then we play one game. They say, "Okay, now do this, do that, and do this, and this is how we make money as trainers." There's no training you will get out of this. All that you need to understand is the point is only this: are we speaking the same language? That's all. You see, meaning the same word, same meaning. The same sound, same meaning. When there is a clarity with reference to the sound and meaning, same, most of the misunderstandings will disappear. So how are you to do that? Ask this question: what do you mean by this? Or when you speak, spell out clearly what is the meaning you are giving to that. Right? Now, when I say this, what I mean is this: specify it. Now, once that is specified, it becomes easier. Right? At least we can know where the problem is. So, more or less, we can resolve. Once you understand the problem, solution is little easier. When you don't understand the problem, solution is very complex. You understand it, it is easy. Same way here. That is what Arjuna is doing here, asking this question. Since it is a new word and a multiple word, Arjuna is asking this question. It's a discipline we practiced in this country. Always they would specify the meaning first of the words, and then understanding will come, explanation will come. Now that he has asked, Krishna is going to explain. Verse 3. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Swabhavo Adhyatma Chetas. Bhuta Bhavod Bhavakaraha. Visarga Karma Sangita. Brahman is the imperishable, supreme. His own being is called Adhyatma, inner self. The creative force that causes the birth of beings is called karma, action. Right. Now, first thing he explains, what is the thing? Now here, all that Krishna is giving is just presenting, is making statements. That's all. This is what it is. This is what it is. Square means this. Rectangle means this. Triangle means this. That's all it is. Now, why square is called like that? Now, you can't be asking that is, a stupid question to be answering. Why elephant is called elephant? Then I will ask you, why are you called by your name? Somebody gave you the name, no? Anywhere anybody calls the name, I used to really enjoy, the temples, particularly this, Shiva temples I go. I'll stand there and say, Ishvara, I'll say, yeah, I'm here, don't worry. Yes. Childhood, kick I used to get. This Kabaleshwar temple, when I go, people will be standing there in that sanctum. Like, they'll be, in tears, they'll be, calling out. I'll be just standing there, looking at them like kids. I'm here, man. Somebody gave that name, you believed yourself to be that. No, that's all it is. Similarly, the meaning of Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman, he gives a qualification here. First thing he gives is Akshara. Now, immediately the problem will come. Akshara is also used for the letters. The script. The letters of the language is also called Aksharam. So, Brahman is Akshara. Immediately you think, oh, words is it? Letters is it? No. Aksharam Brahma Paramam says that supreme added to Akshara gives us a different understanding of that word Akshara, not in the meaning of letters. So what is Akshara means? Ksharati. Ksharam means declining. That which perishes. That's called Kshara. Akshara means that which doesn't decline. That which doesn't reduce itself. That which doesn't perish. That imperishable. So Akshara means imperishable. Also, this Akshara means Ashnute Sarvamiti Aksharam is also another meaning. That which pervades everywhere is also called Akshara. So Akshara has two meanings. One, that which doesn't perish. Also that which pervades, exists everywhere. So Brahman is what, sir? Anything that is not perishable. Now apply the rule. All that is known to you, everything that is known to us is subject to perishing. They all perish. So Brahman is what? Is something which is beyond all that. So Brahman is imperishable, beyond all that known. What is that Brahman? You cannot qualify that Brahman with anything, because any qualification you give, that qualification will disappear after a period of time. It will go out of context. It will become irrelevant, non-applicable after a point. Up to that point, it has a meaning. After a point, it has no meaning. See, so imperishable Brahman is referring to the Nirguna Brahman, is what is referred, which is not necessity to be qualifying by saying it is Nirguna. You say Brahman itself means Nirguna. Understood that is. So what is this Brahman? It says, here's a definition for Brahman here. What is Brahman, sir? Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Beautiful coinage. That is why the chapter titled Akshara Brahma Yoga. The chapter got the title from the subject of discussion here. The essential topic that is discussed is this one. So therefore, the title for the chapter, Akshara Brahma Yoga, is taken directly from here. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Says that Brahman, which doesn't perish. Perishing in the sense what? It goes through this metaphoric changes. You see, it doesn't change. Now we are in a changing stage. Seed, and then the seed grows, and then slowly it keeps further developing. There is a birth. So the seed is there, seed stage is there, birth stage is there, growth stage is there, sustenance stage is there, decline stage is there, death stage is there. So we go through all these 6 metamorphoric changes. He says Brahman is not subject to this metamorphoric changes. Okay, this is Brahman. Now, what is this Adhyatma? This Adhyatma, he says, is the Swabhava. Right. The Swabhava is Adhyatma. Adi plus Atma is Adhyatma. Means inside. Atma here is, you can take it as your body now, in this context. What is inside the bodies? What is inside the presiding one, inside one? The inside one is referred here as, is this Swabhava, the nature. Like, if you take Swabhava of whose, sir? Adhyatma is Swabhava. Swabhava of Brahman. Understood that is. So first he explained what is Brahman. Brahman is imperishable. That imperishable Brahman's Swabhava is referred as Adhyatma. If I give example, it will become easy. Right? The sun were to be compared to Brahman, then the sunlight, the sun's rays is Adhyatma. That's all. Then it will be easier. That's where we have the advantage of reading commentaries of these masters. Without which, if you just read it, you won't even, it will not make any sense to us. You say, what is Swabhava here? Adhyatma is the Swabhava. Swabhava of Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman is the imperishable. That imperishable Brahman has its inherent. Now, can you segregate sun and the sunlight? You can't remove that. If you remove sun rays, all the rays of the sun is gone. Where is sun then? There is no sun after that. Wherever there is sun, there will be sun rays. You can't escape. The total electricity that is existing all over the world, and that electricity that is passing through the bulb, the total space and pot space. What is the difference? Essentially, there is no difference. But there is always an appearance of these two, isn't it? That's why these examples are given. Now, the Shastras give these 2 examples. Sun, the sun rays, total space, pot space. for us to understand what is the connection between Brahman and Adhyatma. That Brahman's nature, Swabhava, is this. How Brahman stands, expresses as it were. How we can understand Brahman is only through its Swabhava. You recognize the sun only by the sun rays, isn't it? The pot space, when you say, there is a distinction that you are able to see between the pot space and the total space. Why? Because of the walls of the pot. In fact, the walls of the pot is in that space only. There's no difference. See. But still, for our understanding purpose, what do we say? We use these two words. Similarly, total one is called as Brahman. When that same total one were to be coming in this context, we will call it as this. How that Brahman expresses itself. So it comes as the sun comes out as sun rays. Same way, this is also coming out. That's all it is. So Brahman, what is Brahman? Brahman is Aksharam. That Aksharam Brahma nature is called Adhyatma. Are they two different things? They are not two different things. Then why there are two words? Is sun and sun rays are two different things? Or one and the same thing? From one side you see they are two different things. From the other side you see they are the same thing. Like, again they give another example. Total space and pot space. That's all it is. So it is all contextual explanation, full stop. So first question, what is Brahman? Aksharam. What is Adhyatma? Swabhava. Then he goes to the third word, another word. Three words he is answering here in this verse. In the next verse, he will explain another 3 words. Then the 7th one will start after that. The third one he says is, is that term karma. What is this karma here referred to? Say, Bhuta Bhavod the creative force of beings resulting in Visarga. That Visarga is called as karma, he says. So Brahman is Aksharam Paramam, Adhyatma is Swabhava, karma is what? Visarga. Visarja, this means, offering. That act of offering. Of what? What is getting offered here is the Bhuta Bhavodbhakara, the creative force of beings. Now, this is an interesting one. Right? This is one of the theories of creation. Right? In Vedanta, we have about 27 theories of creation. Right? How the world was created. They give 27 theories. Right? In that, one of the theories is this. One of the theory is how this thing came about. There is Brahman. That Brahman has a inherent nature. When that Brahman develops a creative urge, that creative urge resulting in the act of creation, that is referred as karma, he says. So what is karma? And like the previous one, once the example given, it will become easier. Okay. There is a painter. There is a musician. Okay. That painter is a painter because there is a painting urge in him, isn't it? A musician is a musician because there is a musical urge in him. Right? Just because he has that musical urge in him doesn't mean he will be singing 24/7. Just because he has the painting urge in him, the painter will not go on painting all the time. Isn't it? That's what most of you think, isn't it? That painter has a painting urge. When that painting urge manifests, comes out, he paints. That expression of that urge into painting, that's what is called as karma, he says. That's visarga. That urge which is staying inside dormant, the dormant urge finds a manifestation, finds an expression. That dormant one finding manifestation is known as karma, the cause of creation. All creation happens. How? That urge expressing. Similarly, the whole world. Now, then they give a picturization to it. Initially, there was only Brahman. Then Brahma came. That Brahma decided, let there be more beings. Then beings came. It becomes so, the story they give. In the story format, it's little easy to understand. So Brahman was staying alone. How long to be alone? Boring. So that Brahman decided to divide itself. And our fellow started. Amoeba became, unicellular organism became multicellular organism. This was known to the Vedic people then itself. Immediately our fellow started. They were not talking about, how unicellular organism became multicellular organisms. That's not what the context is. They say these people had the knowledge of microbes, this one, that one, and all that. Our fellow started. That's not what they refer, what is referred in the Vedas, please. That urge came in. Now, from where that urge comes, why that urge, you can't give an answer for that. There is no answer. Why there is a musical urge in musician? Why there is a painter urge in the painter? And you can see, distinctly you can see among the kids. You put a child to a music class, they will go and sit. You tell them, this is the raga, arohana, avarohana, this, what is this, what is... They will say everything, but they just can't sing. It's not there. The other one you take, because you can't leave the other child in the house. Therefore, the mother takes this child also along with. And that fellow starts singing. He has not attended the class. Right? They were sitting outside and playing. And he was playing actually. It's not that he was sitting and listening outside, some of them do it. Lot of classes I attended in schools, not inside, outside the classroom. Half the time teacher will say, get out of the class. So we'll go and stand outside, kneeling down. You have to kneel down and, stand outside. Very embarrassing one, everyone who is going up and down. And the interesting part is the next classroom, those boys, they will go and tell, hey, they'll say outside. And what those fellows do is they simply ask, the teacher, sir, chuchu. 2 fellows will come out. In turns, they will come out just to see you and laugh and go, Half the class you have to attend like that. It's interesting to see that. It's not like that. He was playing actually, but still. Now, from where they have now, you can say, last Janma. Okay, last Janma, how he got, and then last Janma, and then how he got last Janma, and then how he got last Janma. All that we are doing is prepone the issue. That's all. Why this? Because of that. Why that? Because of that. Why this? Because of that. That. Infinitely you will be regressing. Finally you say where it is, you go blackout. You see, that point is where Krishna is giving answer here. Now, at that point of time, from where it came, that urge was there inherent in him, that finds its emanation. That urge emanating, causing the birth of the entire world, universe, all the beings. He says, Sarva Bhuta means when he says it includes inert also, sentient and insentient beings. Plant, animal, human, suprahuman, if at all there is any, and infrahuman, then you have this, minerals, this, that, everything. All put together find its manifestation. How, sir? Is only through this expression. That urge expressed, manifested. Right? There's a question yes, we have. It says, it is said that Brahman does not act, only supports action. How can Brahman have an urge to create? You want to ask Brahman, not me. I don't know. He's not saying who is holding that urge. There's nowhere Krishna is saying Brahman has an urge. He's not saying. That creative urge is called karma. That creative urge finding its expression is all karma. Now, whose creative urge? We conclude it as having one. Second one is Brahman is everything. When you say it includes what? When you say Brahman is everywhere, it is everything. It must be including what? Including that creative urge also. Like, that's why this example of painter comes. The painter possesses the painting urge. That doesn't mean the painter will start painting all the time. That is up to the decision of the painter to say, I am going to be painting. That doesn't mean at every urge the painter will start painting. Isn't it? At every urge you won't do it. They'll say, okay, we'll do it some other time. Not now. Not this. I don't want to paint this. I don't want to sing now. That urge is maybe there. That urge coming out doesn't mean immediately it will become an action. Not necessarily. That urge finding its manifestation, after that urge finding that manifestation, that stage is referred as karma, he says. That's all. So when you say karma, or when he used that word karma in the 7th chapter end, what he meant is he understands that Jnani understands what? He understands that urge is creating action. But what is supporting that urge to exist, for the urge to manifest, and that urge to find its expression? All that is happening in the substratum. The foundation is Brahman. Like Wherever there is ocean, there will not be waves, isn't it? But wherever there is wave, there will be the support of ocean. Now we are standing from the beach and looking at it. Therefore, we encounter first what? Not the ocean. Waveless ocean you will not encounter. You will encounter only the waves first. You have to cross the wave, go beyond the waves for you to encounter the ocean first. So from our position, we are going reverse order. But actually the waves are coming from where? This way. They are coming from this direction. But we are encountering from the opposite direction. Therefore, there will be a clash of understanding. This you must understand. Then this confusion will not be there. So this Brahman does not act when it is said. It is said from which angle? Total space cannot be divided. From the angle of the total space. Right? When you are buying a house, first thing you ask is what? What is the built-up area? What is the carpet area? You ask all that? No. Isn't it? Super built-up area, and then carpet area. Is all happening. Is all in the air only we are living? No. The first floor. What is first floor? Air only. Standing in the middle, nowhere actually. Ground floor means you are standing actually on the ground. And the fellow says 24th floor. 24th floor, 40th floor. 40th floor is where actually? There's nothing there. It's just standing. Nowhere. But still, you always discuss those things from the perspective of what? When you're going to buy house, you have to ask all these questions. But you understand what? It's like the newspaper when you read, every day newspaper it comes. Sunrise, sunset, timing. Now will you write to the news editor stating, have you not studied in school? That sun never rises and sets. He's just standing. Yeah, it is like that. From one angle, correct. From the another angle, it is different. So it is a two different angles. So don't try to compare those angles. Right. Now in the context, you understand only this. You have to take it from the context. Don't stretch it beyond it. Don't bring in any other ideas. Otherwise, it will cause a lot of confusion. So, what is Brahman? Imperishable, supreme. That supreme, imperishable is Brahman. That Brahman's swabhava is called Adhyatma. Then that creative urge, wherever it is, right? That creative urge finding expression is called this. That creative urge finding expression is creation. Painter's urge finding expression is not creation. Painter's urge finding expression is painting. Musician's urge, musical urge, expression, music. But that urge cannot stand without a base, the foundation. The urge by itself will not stand. That painting urge will not stand in the air somewhere. It needs some foundation. Isn't it? Same way, the creative force cannot be standing without something. So where it must be standing? Then we ask the question, it must be standing where? Just now he said, Aksharam Brahma Brahmam. It is pervading everywhere. So who should be the foundation for this also. Brahman should be the foundation for this also. So we say the root, the foundation for this was also Brahman. So we take it as Brahman's creative urge. So Brahman, its Swabhava and its creative urge. The creative urge finding expression is called karma. That Swabhava of Brahman is called Adhyatma. What is Brahman? Brahman is Aksharam Paramam. These are all just the terminologies, please. You will find in the Gita, or rather any scripture you go, any master's presentations you read, all their presentations will be coming from 3 different angles. Okay, 3 different positions they will take, 3 different styles of presentation. One style of presentation is they quote. They will be referring to something. So here you will find Krishna goes on doing that here. Is called, he says, Uchyate. Called by whom? It's called. Called by whom? Here, he is taking the position, he is speaking as a spokesperson for the Upanishads. He is taking all these ideas from the Upanishads. The Upanishadic masters have called this. So from one way he answers, he presents in the Gita is as a person referring to what is said in the Upanishads. Whatever they said, I am saying, that's about it. This is one way he goes. Another way he goes is he presents irrefutable arguments. Right? You cannot refute it. Reasoning. Pure logical reasoning. Through that, he deducts and says, therefore, this is the conclusion. This is another type you will find. So one, he speaks on the authority of the scriptures, Upanishads, Vedas, or the earlier masters. 1. 2, he takes is the logic. He gives reasoning. And to refer beautiful portion you will find in the 3rd chapter. How he reasons and comes to conclusion. You see, therefore this, why you have to fight. Arjuna gave his reasons why he should not fight in the 1st chapter. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna gives the reasons why he should be. Right? Beautiful arguments. And then he comes to a conclusion. Says, therefore, Arjuna, fight. Yes. 2. Third one is declaration. He will simply declare. That's all. It's just a declaration. Now you can't argue with him now. You see, this is what it is. It's like you ask, sir, which is east? When you come home, sometimes people ask, which is east? I say, this is east. Why do you call this east? What is the proof? I say, this is east. I say, this is my mother. This is my father. I introduce someone. This is my mother. This is my father. You have never met them. I say, this is my mother. You take it by what? Now, not on some other authority, not on this. That is what declaration. It's a statement of fact. I just declare a fact. Make a statement. That's about it. This is what it is. Every object is attracted towards Earth 32 feet per second per second. That's all. It's a declaration. That's a statement of facts. You'll find Krishna speaking all these three at different places, different ways. But these are the three basic styles. Now here, what is he doing, sir? He just says, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Swabhava Adhyatma Uchyate. Its Swabhava is called Adhyatma. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. He says, Uchyate is not there. He says, this is called. Similarly, this karma. Karma Sangitaha. Means it's called karma. By whom, sir? He says, that I don't know. Those people are called, I'm just quoting it, full stop. I'm just referring to the same word, that's all. Whatever the meaning they give. So you ask any clarification to him, will say, go there and ask. Don't ask me. So, three different ways of presentation. Every speaker, every teacher, every master does that. They speak from three different things. So it is our business to identify which angle they are speaking from. Now this verse, he spoke from this angle. Now in the second verse, you find he's speaking from different ones. Different ones. Now coming to this, next verse, the fourth one. Adi Bhutam Ksharo Bhava Purushashchadi Daivatam Adi Yajño Amevatra Dehe Deha Bhritambara Adi Bhutam Ksharo Bhava. Now he is giving answer to another three. Yes. This Adi Bhuta is the perishable nature. Adi Devata is the indweller. I alone am the Adi Yajna here in the body. Oh, best of the embodied. Deha Vrutambara is another, unique, name. These are all nicknames, pet names. He invents new pet names for, Arjuna. In this context, he uses this word, Deha Vrutambara, because he is talking about the Deha. So he says, of all the embodied, you are the best. You are the best of all those people who are born so far. Ultimate. That much of, fondness, affection is there. It's all, expression of affection. There's many words, many proper nouns being used by Krishna. But the same thing Arjuna also does. He says, Purushottama. You are the best among the beings. He says, all the beings, you are the best man. So he goes into high praises of Krishna. Same way, Krishna is no less. He also, goes on explaining Arjuna in many words. Best of the embodied, he says. Again, he gives three words. He uses this three. What is this? Adi Bhutam. Bhuta, don't take immediately as, some Bhuta, Pishasha and all that. Adi Bhuta. He says that Adi Bhuta is the Kshara Bhava, the perishable aspect. The perishable aspect. Now, that imperishable he said in the previous verse. Right? Now here he says that imperishable you have understood. One, how by examining so many things and you have rejected this is perishable, right? Whatever you have rejected as perishable, that collection is called as Adi Bhutam. Essentially, it means it's a synonymous term for the elements, matter, the Jada Prabhach, right? That elements. What is that matter? Matter is made up of what? How does a matter manifest? Matter is nothing but your body plus mind plus intellect put together is called matter. Gross matter, subtle matter. Gross matter, body, subtle matter, mind and intellect. All this collection is what? Now, if you remember in the previous chapter, he referred apara prakriti, right? Recently we did. Okay. So those who have not done, go back to the 7th chapter and see there. He has explained what all apara prakriti is. This. All that apara prakriti has another name. Another name for apara prakriti is Adi Bhuta. That's all it is. That Ksharo Bhava. So what is Adi Bhuta? It is a Ksharo Bhava. Then he says, Adi Daivatam. What is this Adi Daivatam? That Purusha is the Adi Devatam, the indweller. The indweller in the body. That body is there. The matter is there. Body, mind and intellect is there. That body, mind and intellect are in the context to understand, take it as body. Right? That body is there. Inside that body, there is an indweller, isn't it? There is a shirt and there is a person who is wearing the shirt, isn't it? The wearer is there, no? That wearer is called Adi. Yes. That's what is Adi Devat. This Purusha. That Purusha, the individual. What is the individual? The perceiver, the actor, the feeler, the thinker, the contemplator. Perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. Put together is called Purusha. Is the indweller. So that indweller, loosely we use the word jiva, individual, also in a common language we uses that. That is what is referred as Adi Devatam. So Adi Bhutam Ksharobha, Adi Devatam Purusha. 2. The third one he takes is Adi Yajna. What is that Adi Yajna? Adi Yajna Ahameva, he says. I am that Adi Yajna, he says. The pure consciousness. The pure consciousness which is enlivening, enabling the equipments to perceive. Thereby, there is a personality called a perceiver. Pure consciousness enables the karmendriyas to function, thereby you assume the position of an actor. The pure consciousness enabling the mind to feel various emotions, thereby you believe yourself to be the feeler. The pure consciousness enabling the gross intellect to think various thoughts, thereby you assume the position of a thinker. The pure consciousness enabling your subtle intellect to think the thoughts of reality, thereby you assume the position of a contemplator. That pure consciousness is called Adi Ajna. The pure consciousness, the witnessing self. All the way to understand is the witnessing self. As you are performing various actions, perceptions, emotions, thoughts, you're transacting with all that, there is something in you standing apart, witnessing all that as a Sakshi. He doesn't participate. He doesn't engage in all this. He's just standing as a witness. That witnessing pure consciousness is referred as Adi Ajna. Right. So what is this? The entire equation is only this. What is Brahman, Aksharam, Paramam? Then what is Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna? His Swabhava is there. So wherever Brahman, his Swabhava will be there. So they come together. Then this is here. Then this is here. Then this is here. All this is just a technical term being explained. Right. So for all practical purpose, if you are not really interested in the technical meaning of these words, you can conveniently skip these two verses. There's no problem. Even if you don't understand these two verses, no loss for you. You don't have to worry. You, sir, I didn't understand what is Adi Ajna, what is this Aham Eva, what is that. Suppose if you don't understand means you don't have to worry. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, even if it is not clear, that's okay. But since he has used those words, and Arjuna also, requested Krishna to explain, he gives these explanations. That's about it. It will be a little dry, these two verses. It is not really for us to pay attention to. Right. Or can we assume this Adi Daivam as individual ego? Yeah, you can take it as individual ego. But generally, this ego is part of the subtle body. So, since it's a very technical term being explained, you can't generalize like that. If you want to generalize, you can do it. But that's not the way Krishna is explaining here. He is explaining a technical term. Technical word for that particular thing. See, it is it's better to use that thing in the same way. So here, what is this, Adi Devatam? Can we take it as this? Take it as this. Perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. Whenever you assume the position of a perceiver, right now you are perceiving. You are listening and seeing. Right? You are perceiver. And then sometime afterwards you will be reading. You will be trying to understand what is this. Then you assume a position of a contemplator. That contemplator, that feeler, collectively you want to use one word. How will you call? Right. Karmi is there, who is performing karma. Then Bhogi is there, who is enjoying the thing. Now, this Karmi plus Bhogi put together. Right. Now, there are already two positions we take in life. Either you are doing something or you are enjoying something. You may be enjoying experiencing. Enjoying in the sense you are experiencing something. Right. Right now you are not doing anything. You are just enjoying. You are just receiving. That's about it. Now, from my position, what I am not, I am only performing action. Right. I am doing action. So I am in the position of a karta. You are in a position of a bhokta. In life, only two things we do. Either I am in a position of a karta, or I assume the position of a bhokta. Performer, enjoyer. Performer or actor, enjoyer. Experiencer, you can take it as, to put it in a simple language. Right. Actor, experiencer. Actor, experiencer. Actor, experiencer. Actor goes on performing is the experiencer goes on performing. Suppose if you want to use a word, actor plus experience, experiencer, what do you call? There, they use this word, Adi Yajna, he says. Sir, we have never used that word, no? We'll say, so what? That's what is referred as paribhasha. You see, it is a paribhasha. This particular paribhasha is used only by the people who are going to have a conversation amongst them. Like if two doctors were to have a conversation. Like 2 days back, I was speaking to a doctor. I called her, and she started talking to me. I said, "Do you speak English?" Yeah. She got confused. I'm speaking English only. She was speaking for 2 minutes in English with me. Right? I asked her, "Do you speak English?" She said, "Of course I'm speaking English. I'm not talking Kannada to you. I'm speaking English only." I said, "Speak the English that I can understand." Something or not you're saying, CPR, CRP, something is there. I said, CRP, my understanding is Central Reserve Police. Right. She says CRP, that CRP, proportion, this one, that one, something or not. She said. I said, stop it. Then she said, sir, the problem is infection. This I can understand. Speak what I can understand. I think there's something wrong with the inflammation is there. This is there. Those words I can understand. Now, suddenly you say that LHD, PhD, this one, that one, and all. If she's speaking to another doctor, they understand. There's no problem. Now, if you speak that to me, what will I understand? Same thing is what happened to Arjuna here. Krishna, when he is speaking, in that flow, it just, came out. It just, slipped out. Those words, just slipped out of Krishna. Those technical words. Now, Arjuna didn't understand. What is that? What's the meaning of CRP? Yeah. Like that he is asking. What is Adi Yajna? Now, we sit and read it. Now, we are not in the position of Krishna. We are not in the position of Arjuna. We are neither. Because it is there, we have to understand what is the meaning of that. Otherwise, we will never know. And you can Google and see. Right. YouTube. You can listen to wherever they have had a discourse on Jiva, indweller. Nowhere they would have used that word Adi Yajna. Adi Yajna means Adi Yajna, immediately you will understand. Yajna, you understand what? Havan. Adi, what do you understand? Old. Right? Old one. So you take as what? Primordial Yajna. So I think Krishna was referring to some oldest Yajna. Of all the Havan practices, the oldest Havan practice is what? The first Havan practice, first Yajna being performed. That's not what is realized. Totally unconnected. From where he has taken this meaning, I don't know. I have not seen anyone explaining to it. I've asked. I said, where is it is there that Adi Yajna means that pure consciousness, that witnessing self, that Atman in the body is referred as Adi Yajna. There, by the time, the derivation goes, you will be totally lost. And we can't even understand, okay, why no? Says directly no. We'll say, why speak the language that we understand? If you want to bring it to there, then it is correct. Individual ego, you can call. When you say ego itself, it means individual, right? I don't know why you got to qualify that by saying, individual ego, right? As though there is something called the collective ego. Collective ego, there is no such thing. We just use the word collective ego. There is no collective ego. Collective ego is also only individual ego only. Right? Collectively, all of us have same ego level. Collective ego, you'll say what? I am proud to be an Indian. You call it as collective ego. Does everybody have that? No. Ego itself is what? In fact, ego exists only for you. You know that? Your ego doesn't exist for me. Your ego is illusion for me. Your ego is a non-existing entity as far as I am concerned. My ego exists only for me. Since it is existing for me, I assume that it is existing for everybody. I believe myself to be a very intelligent person. Therefore, I assume what? Everyone also should be considering me to be intelligent. Why? I think I'm intelligent. No. I think I am good. Therefore, everyone around me also should think I am good. But what we fail to understand in life is, this is called illusion, Maya. Mithya and all we say. We say, world is Maya, world is illusion. Immediately the fellow says, I'm standing in front of you. What are you talking? I say, if you say world is Maya, Mithya, to whom are you saying that? I'm telling you, you don't exist. I must be mad to say that, isn't it? If I genuinely believe you don't exist, how can I have a conversation with you, first of all, to convince you that you don't exist? You will say what? I am existing. You are not existing. Nobody understands. Mithya is my ego, is known as Mithya. What is it, sir? It has an existence in reality. The reality of my ego is only to me, not even to my wife. It's not possible. Now we all think, everybody understands. We just use words, without really paying attention to those words. You see, that's what the advantage of studying these sort of things, where you use those words with precision, not generalize it. We just generalize. Individual ego, total ego, subconscious ego, unconscious ego, and another one will come in. Unconscious ego, ego itself is not, and then the fellow says, this ego, that ego, qualifying all that. There's no necessity for all those things. Here, Adi Yajna is what, sir? Aham, the witnessing self. So there is a matter. In that matter, there is a indweller, there is a being, and different from that indweller, there is a witnessing consciousness. So if you see carefully, how Krishna gives answer is, verse 3, it is macrocosmic presentation. In verse 4, it is microcosmic. Macrocosm, total. Microcosm, the same thing individual. You see? So this Adi Yajna, and in verse 4, and what he referred as Adhyatma, Brahma, saying, this Brahma, his Swabhava, you can't segregate it, they are together. And the total expression, that creative urge resulting in creation, that is called karma. The whole thing is referred as karma. All this refers to what? To cosmic, macrocosmic presentation. In that fourth verse is coming to this microcosmic presentation, individual one. Here, that what is taken as Brahma in the previous verse is what is to be taken here as the Adi Yajna. So Brahma, Adi Yajna, has the Swabhava. Right. Then there is Adi Bhuta and Adi Devata. This Adi Devata is what? The individual and its equipments. There we say it's the Jiva plus the body. The body is referred as this one. Why? The body is Kshara Bhava. The body perishes, no? The Jiva moves out, the body perishes. Right. The liveliness is there for this body. But remember, the Atman doesn't move. Right. Atman will not move at the time of death. Then what does move? Body is there. Atman is all pervading. Akshara. We have seen that already. Right. It is all pervading. So that cannot move. Anything which is pervading, all pervading, cannot move. Because movement is possible only from a place where it is to a place where it is not. Since it is, definition is Akshara, that's why those definitions are important. You see, one is imperishable, another definition is it's pervading everywhere. So both are Akshara. So since it is non-perishable, it's not body, and it is not that Jiva also. Why? Because it is moving. This doesn't move. Therefore, Brahma is what, sir? Akshara. These ideas are, if you think on that more, it's so fascinating. How all fits together. It's just compressing those ideas in those words. That's all. When that total expresses individual expression. When it comes to movement from unmanifest to manifest, he is talking about macrocosm. Manifest to unmanifest, he comes to microcosm, individual. That's all it is. Just two different angles he is providing. Now, what is the distinction here? Is only this. What is the connection with all these words? This and that are same. This Adi Yajna and Brahma same. Then there is an indweller. That Jiva moves different. Then there is a body which is assumed by this one. That assuming that body, that Visarga, taking that body. Remember, at the time of your birth, only the body is born. The individual is not born at that time. Remember that. Individual is existing before that. Right? Same way, at the time of death, only the body is gone. The individual is not gone. What is an individual? When you say an individual, that means perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. If he is a human being, right? If it is an animal, thinker, contemplator, not there. Perceiver, actor, feeler is there. If it is a plant, there is perceiver, actor, there is no feeler for a plant. Why? Plant has only body. There is no mind and intellect for the plant. A plant doesn't have jealousy. The plant doesn't have, envy. The plant doesn't feel, depressed. The plants don't feel anything. They don't get stressed out. All this. And they don't have this honor, dishonor, and all those things. Did you respect me? With so much of struggle, I gave you mango last year. What did you do to me? All these things, there's no memory of what you did to the plant last year. The tree doesn't have all those things. It just, it can perceive, it can act. It can, that's why we have done, the science experiment. The plant goes towards light. It grows towards light, they say. It is a perception. Right? So, if it is an individual, being means the being must be perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. He is not dead. Then what is happening, sir? It is like this. There is a sun, and you keep a mirror. Inside that mirror, there is a reflected sun. There's a sun you see in the mirror also, no? If it is too difficult, you can try in the moon also, because you can't see. It's too bright. But theoretically, you can understand. Wherever there is a reflecting surface, there is a reflection. So there is sunlight, and the sunlight comes and strikes the reflecting medium. There is a reflected sun. Right? So far clear, no? And that mirror is kept. I remove that mirror. What happens? What disappears? The reflected sun disappears. Okay. That mirror fitted to that frame. I remove that mirror out of that frame. There is no reflected sun there. And now I place that, I bring in another mirror. There is a new reflected sun. But the sun above remains the same. Nothing has happened to the sun above. The sun rays, there is a mirror, reflected sun in the mirror. How come the reflected sun appeared in the mirror? The appearance of the reflected sun in the mirror, not only in this mirror, in all the mirrors in the world, put together, is called karma. Right? My problem is not with reference to all the mirrors. Your problem is not with reference to Corona affecting the whole world. Your problem is what? Not Corona coming to India. Your problem is what? Not Corona coming to Karnataka. Your problem is what? Not Corona coming to Karnataka, Bangalore. Is Corona coming to Bangalore the problem? No, no, no. Kempapura. Is Kempapura your problem? Kempapura is not my problem. Misty waters. Is misty water your problem? No, no, no. Tower 2. Is Tower 2 your problem? No, 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 no. 2013. Is 2013 your problem? No, 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 no. Me. So essentially, when I am worried about Corona coming to the whole world, is not I am worried about the whole world. I am worried about what actually? Through all these steps, ultimately, he come. That is why next verse Krishna says, straight he comes to the point. Verse 4. Forget about macrocosm. Work about you now. Yes. Now in you, what is this? This particular mirror. My mirror. In that mirror, there is a sun. This sun is looking blue color. Why this sun is blue? Why that sun is green? In fact, the reflected sun is not blue, strictly speaking, isn't it? That's what Rabindranath Tagore says. Beautifully, he puts it across. He says, one day it appeared, he says, he was going on a boat. Right? He got out of the boat and he saw the moon reflection on the Ganges. It was beautiful sight. He was so enjoying that sight. And as he was traveling, the moon is also traveling along with him, he says. It's coming along with me. It's following me, following me, following me, following me, following me. It's coming. As so beautiful it looks. And suddenly, that went into a gutter. Right. In that gutter, there is a reflected moon now. Is that reflected moon dirty? Remember, the moon is not dirty. The moonlight is not dirty. Even the reflected moon that you are seeing is also not dirty. Then what is dirty? The water is dirty. The dirt of the water I am superimposing on the moon. You see, the reflected moon. The reflected moon is appearing to me as dirty. Not because it is dirty. It is the water which is dirty. When that same water becomes pure, the moon also appears pure. That's about it. So, the witnessing one is the reflected sun in the mirror. Adi-yajna. Aham. But it appears to be missing, appearing and disappearing. You see, neither appears nor disappears. Why? This reflected moon is nothing but that moon. It's the same thing. And in between you can't see. What is it? The rays you can't see. The light is imperceptible. You can't see. That swabhava, you cannot see. Now where are you, sir? You are caught up in that position of a perceiver, healer, actor, thinker, contemplator. How the whole thing came in? That urge. That urge created this. Why? That's what will happen. Wherever there is a reflected medium, there will be reflected sound. That's all it is. Nothing can be done. What is that medium, sir? That medium is the Adibhuta. the appearance of a dirty moon is known as Adi Devatam. Factually, it is not dirty. That is Adi Yajna. Beyond all this stands the moon. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Hari Om.